Welcome back. You're watching your regional news wrap. Of course, the big story this week, that severe thunderstorm we endured Monday night. Strong winds up to 89 kilometers per hour and torrential rain ripped through our town. Curious onlookers came out for a front row view of the show.
There's a couple sparks and then a couple big explosions after.
Many homes and businesses suffered damage to their property, and city workers were out in full force cleaning up the debris. Some damage was irreparable, of course. The Lloydminster SPCA's building was completely blown down.
It's pretty incredible. We're lucky in regards it did not affect the current shelter. All the animals are safe. If it affected the current shelter, we would be in some serious trouble. So we're really lucky in a lot of ways. It's definitely a setback.
The town of McLaughlin seemed to get hit the hardest. Trees were falling on houses and power lines were strewn across the community. A few kilometers away, the Battle River Ranch Camp's new lodge was completely flattened, only days away from finishing construction. Residents have all come together to help out.
The people that have stopped in already this morning, we've met already, that want to know what they can do. It's huge, and our community has been behind us every step of the way. So we know that, hey, it's going to be exciting, and we're just going to rebuild.
With all this cleanup, many residents had a lot of time to reflect and wonder what they could have done or what they can do next time. June and July have the highest frequency of tornadoes in our region, and right now we're in prime weather conditions for them.
Find shelter anywhere. And if that's in a house, in a basement, if you don't have a basement, get into the center of the structure and away from windows.
Ideally, you'll have a family tornado plan, just like a fire escape plan. Keep a storm kit with flashlights, some food, and a radio on hand. If the wind gets furious enough, try to cover yourself with pillows or a mattress to protect yourself from falling debris. Turning from our storm coverage now, members of the Pauline Muskegos Memorial Group have completed another Walk for Justice this year. They start the journey in Martinsville and end in Onion Lake every year. Their purpose is to raise awareness about missing and murdered Aboriginal women in Canada.
It's not only First Nations women, it's all women. To date, the Walk for Justice has a data of almost close to 4,200 women's names nationally.
Back in 2008, Williams Group went to Parliament. She said the number of missing and murdered women was just under 3,000 at that time, and today the numbers are still rising. Despite the current statistics, Walk for Justice will continue their fight, and although the missing and murdered women will never come back, this journey to Onion Lake each year is part of the healing process for the many families. Well, housing starts and house prices are enjoying fairly robust growth throughout Canada, but that may all come to an end soon, so says a report from TD Economics. It's a combination of subdued housing incomes, rising interest rates, and stricter borrowing rules. They all come into play. But some experts say Lloydminster might be impervious to this looming storm.
Lloydminster is a pretty dynamic little community. We're looking at a population of about 30,000 people. And we're supported by the oil, agriculture, and retail trade.
The average resale home price in Canada is expected to be $334,000 in just 2 years, with the average home prices in Lloydminster approximately 100 grand below that. Gilbert says there's still plenty of room for upward growth in this market. A hefty federal financial boost is helping the Vic-Juba Community Theatre to develop and promote the arts in Lloydminster. They received a $22,000 donation from the Department of Canadian Heritage. It will support the theatre and its presentation of the annual Dr. H.A. Macdonald series.
There are artists across Canada that will be presented in the Macdonald season. They range from country music to family programming to classic rock to theatre, a variety of artists.
Mottram says overall funding for the theatre is falling a bit short this year. They were hoping to receive some money from the Alberta government, but those dollars won't be distributed until 2012. Well, childhood obesity is a growing concern in the Western world. In fact, it was the subject of 2 reports released this week. A new study out of the UK set exercise guidelines for children under 5. In addition to 3 hours every day for toddlers, the report set goals of 1 hour a day for children between the ages of 5 and 7. Experts say toddlers' fitness doesn't need to be organized per se.
It's activity we're talking about, not exercise per se, because you can't force children to go jogging around the track for 2 hours or 3 hours.
Although Canada hasn't published its own official exercise guidelines for kids under 5, it's expected to come out with similar guidelines to those in the UK. Alberta Chamber members gathered at the West Harvest Inn to share their ideas on how to improve their communities. Mayor Jeff Mulligan was the keynote speaker for this year's summit.
Well, I think it's great that they're having it in Lloydminster. It speaks volumes about our vibrancy.
There were several topics discussed, but the main focus was on the role social media plays when it comes to networking. Well, Catholic Social Services celebrated 50 years of providing services to Alberta for families and individuals in need. They've helped many newcomers right here in Lloydminster.
It's great to have places where you can go and kind of look for that one place to kind of help you out to figure out what to do in the process. So
CSS has helped families in many areas, but their Immigration and Regional Newcomer Gateway program has really taken off. They say they've enjoyed their time with our community and hope they can stay around for yet another 50 years. Classic oval-shaped trailers called bowlers infiltrated a campground in Marwade on Saturday. Their proud owners taking part in the annual gathering, or BowlORama.
Today's been awesome. The turnout's been good. Cars, trailers from all over turned out really well.
That's what you missed in regional news this week. After the break, it's off to the races. Pig races, that is. I'm going to take on Newcap News anchor Jacob Zaire in a celebrity pig race. Catch the big event after the break.